Hello, I'm Juliet McGrattan. Now, today I am in normal clothes. I'm not in lycra, yay! And this is because I did a long run yesterday and today is a rest day. So today I don't have to think about going running. I know that I need to take the day off. And I love running and it's something that I couldn't imagine being without in my life. But despite that, I still sometimes struggle to find the motivation to run. I don't know if you can identify with this, but even though I may put my running clothes on at the beginning of the day with the hope and expectation that at some point I can get out there, I sometimes get to nighttime and I'm still in them and I haven't been. And if I'd really wanted to, I could have carved out that bit of space to run. So despite the fact that I know I'll feel great afterwards, sometimes that just isn't enough. So I wanted to share my tips with you because, consistency is key when it comes to running. And if we can really want to get the health benefits of running, then we need to be doing it regularly. So here are my tips for staying and getting motivated and getting yourself out of the door from 13 years of me trying to do it myself. So my first tip is to say, try and find your why. Have a think about what your reason to run is. Why do you go running? What does it bring to your life? Because sometimes just thinking, well, I should run, it isn't wise, it isn't enough to get you motivated. Is it because you want to age healthily and keep a good quality of life? Is it because you want to be active to be able to play with your children or to be there for your children when they're older? Is it for headspace? What are the reasons that you actually like to run? And sometimes thinking about that bigger picture and thinking about your why can really help you get back on track when you've maybe not been running for a little while, or actually just keep you day to day focused on the reasons that you do it. My second bit of advice is to say, don't procrastinate. The longer you think about whether you should go, should you run, have you got time, the harder it is to get out of the door. Once you've got that notion in your head that you want to run, get your stuff on and go. Do not engage brain, because you will be able to talk yourself out of it very easily. And actually at the time, the reason you give for not going will seem very, very valid. It's like you can convince yourself that you don't need to actually go and run. I think particularly this is hard early in the morning when you've set your alarm really early and you want to get up and go for a super early run. If you start thinking too hard about it, you're not going to get there. Get up, get the kit on, don't engage brain, get out of the door, don't procrastinate. Okay, my third tip is to schedule your run. So have a look at the week ahead. When are you going to fit your running in during the week? Once you've blocked out those times in your diary, they're like appointments with yourself. And I find that is me kind of realizing when the best times are going to be for me to fit in my running. And if I don't fit them into those slots, they're less likely to happen. I think we'll probably all identify with the fact that those slots are often the first to go when life gets busy, when other things with work and family start to sort of take over. But I really would encourage you to keep them, make them a firm commitment with yourself. Although they're the first thing to go, they should really be the last, because you probably know yourself, once you've been for a run, you feel much more equipped to cope with all those other things in your life. It's easy to think of running as a self-indulgence, but I believe running is self-care, not self-indulgence. So schedule your appointments, schedule your runs and keep to them. Next tip, seek out inspiration. If you want to be inspired, if you've watched the London Marathon, for example, the first thing I want to do is put my trainers on and go for a run. So find things that you can look at every day, day to day, which keep you motivated. It could be somebody's social media feed. It could be a motivational book you're reading, a quick search on for TV documentaries or YouTube clips or something that actually just gives you a little bit of a boost, because once you kind of fill your life with those little nuggets of inspiration, it really, really does help to keep you going. So that's something that really, really helps me. My next tip is a simple one, 10 minutes. Tell yourself that you will go for 10 minutes. That's all. If you're not enjoying it after 10 minutes, if you don't want to carry on, then you can come home. Somehow giving yourself that get out clause, that there is an easy option and an escape route, makes it easier to head out of the door. But I can almost 100% guarantee you that if you're not ill, that you probably won't come home after 10 minutes. You'll think, well, I've got this far. I'm enjoying it actually, I feel okay, I don't want to waste any more hours or whatever, so I'm just going to keep running. So 10 minutes, aim for 10 minutes and you'll be surprised. That's a kind of a sneaky little one to trick your mind. Next tip, run commute. It doesn't have to be commute to work, it could be something that you do with the school run, it could be when you're going to visit a friend, but look for journeys that you can make running rather than say by car or by bike or etc. Because if you can actually include running into your normal daily activities, then it becomes much less about the run itself and much more about the activity that the run is taking you to or from. So for example, you could say every Wednesday I run home from work. Now that's much better than saying, I'm going to run home from work one day this week, because that probably won't happen. If it's your habit, if it's your routine that on Wednesdays you run home from work, it just becomes what you do. It becomes a habit rather than something you've got to motivate yourself to engage with and to get on board. So I would say, yeah, look for those little journeys that you can make and make them on foot and run them whenever you can, and perhaps make them set days that you actually do them. And my final tip is probably the best one really, I shouldn't really have saved it till last, but that is to run with others. My main thing that gets me out of the door when I'm not feeling like it is my running friends. Now sometimes that's just one friend that I have that I message and say fancy a run. Sometimes it's running club and the knowing that I want to be there and I want to see all the other runners. And you know, there's nothing like knowing somebody's going to turn up at your door at 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning to go for a run to get you out of bed. You don't want to cancel it. They're probably feeling the same. They don't want to cancel it. You motivate each other. You go, you feel great. And I think, you know, looking for inspiration and motivation from other people is a really, really good route to take, because they're going to be struggling with all the same things to do with motivation as you. So get your friends on board. It can be really helpful. I just want to finish up by saying, you know, sometimes actually it's okay not to run. Sometimes we need to give ourselves a little break. So have a think, am I making an excuse, or am I feeling unwell? Am I feeling very tired? Actually, would it be better for me to have a rest day? Because we do sometimes get caught up and we do put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and we want to have a good relationship with running. So if you get those days, don't worry, that's fine. Just be careful, just tune in to what your body's telling you, whether it's your body or your mind, and make sure you're not getting tricked, and that actually you're not just making an excuse. But yeah, I'm all for taking a day off as and when you need it. So I hope these motivation tips have helped. I'd love you to share your own with me, either here under the comments on this video or on my blog or on social media posts. So wherever you want to comment, please do. Also, you can find more about running and motivation and having a good relationship with running in my book, Run Well. Head to my blog, drjuliettegrattan.com, and you'll find all my contact details and blog posts and social media channels and everything all on there. Thank you very much, and keep running, everybody.